And it gets back to the grace, which you mentioned earlier. Grace covers all.
Grace.
But the vehicle, you know, we've been searching and searching. I speak to other folks. We've spoken to a lot of different people in the same situation. What do you do? And there along comes Jackie. You know, Jackie who? I don't know if I like the sound of this place. It's a pregnancy center. I'm going to be very frank.
Yeah,
you know?
I said, what
the
is
first
this
thing I know, a
place?
pregnancy. Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, we've been searching for a vehicle, and right now this is the only car we got to drive.
You're the best thing that's ever been. Best thing that there ever is going to be, and you're going to keep being it. You know, because you got to be.
Well, it's what we're going to say. It's obvious you both care, both very much, and it exudes out of every pore that you have.
I just remember that I was in a little bit of a tough time, and I really didn't like the idea that she wanted me to terminate the pregnancy. So I decided to keep it. But ever since she met Georgia, I mean, she fell right in love with it. Truly Grace encouraged me to finish my education, but I did end up dropping out. Now I attend the GED program here, so I'm definitely excited to get my GED and have an education so I can make more money and have a better job for Georgia so I can support her. I want him to finally grab hold of sobriety and, you know, he deserves it, you know. He's such an amazing person. He deserves so much. Just because he's made mistakes doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to have the opportunity to be believed in. That doesn't mean he doesn't deserve the opportunity to have hope. Just because he's made mistakes, he can learn from them if he chooses to. The support system is so amazing here, so amazing. Literally, I have no idea where I would be without these people. They have encouraged me to do my best, and they've put so much faith in me. They've given me so much hope, and I don't know where I would be without them. I wouldn't be getting an education. I wouldn't be, I can't even put it into words. It's just the spirit here and the enthusiasm and just the loving, it's just such a loving place.
When you came to me and asked me about it, when I thought about being part of this, it goes back to my childhood. I mean, my dad left when I was 4 years old, and I was left with my aunt and uncle. My mom couldn't raise me. And knowing at 50 how screwed up I was as a kid because of that, and just the effect that it's made in my life, it's very detrimental. Caused drug issues, caused alcohol issues, caused a lot of issues that I think if my father was there and I didn't question and I didn't hurt, I didn't know why he had left, or didn't wonder why he had left, I don't think that pain would have been there. I don't think I would have been trying to medicate hurt and not feeling loved and not feeling accepted. And really up until probably a year and a half ago when I started counseling, I never dealt with it. And never realized the depth of pain that I was carrying because of that, because of my dad leaving. And I just want to help instill that in guys and men, just what that means to a child. I want them to see someone who genuinely cared. It wasn't just setting up a program or going through the motions, but someone who invests in them because they love them, because they think that they're worth it.
I wasn't thinking about what my options were, and then my dad brought it to my attention that I do have options. I believed adoption was the best splash. I really don't even know where to start. with what they've done for me. Just like guidance and someone to talk to, and like there's like no judgment whatsoever. I'm young and I figured it would be the best thing for a child for adoption, because it's kind of like a kid raising a kid. I don't know if it was just how I felt, but I felt like my family, we were a little bit distant. Like no one was really talking about it. And then, like, after he was born, it, like, the entire family, it's just like everybody just, like, wove together. And, like, no one thought of it as, like, a teenage girl having a baby. It was like, oh my gosh, there's a new baby in the family. Like, this is exciting.
When I was first asked if I wanted to join Young Moms for the Shore, it was right around the time that my mom got sick. You know, I was kind of hesitant just because I was going back and forth between Eastern Shore and my hometown to see my mom. But the first day I went in there, it was like something clicked. Like all of the girls in there are so just understanding, and they really understand what you're going through, and if they don't, they're not gonna sugarcoat it. You know, they're like, dude, that sucks. I'm sorry that this is happening to you, but you know, it's in God's plan. It's not easy coming up with 3 things that are your favorite part about it, because there's so much that I love about it. So I guess I would say the first would be the girls, of course. They're like the lifeline in a sense. Just because, you know, they know what I'm going through in my everyday life. They know what it is to be a young mom. And they're all amazing. And second would be the presence of God in those meetings, and just faith and hope. And I think it means a lot to all of us, because a lot of times that's all we have is our faith. But you step into those rooms and that's what you get. You get God, you feel Him in our prayers and in our talks and everything. And third would be babies. Well, not third, but you know, the babies are just, it's a great time for them too. They get to hang out in their little daycare and hang out with people their own age, so it's been a blessing. It really has. I think it's brought many people into my life that I wouldn't have thought would be there. And I think it's amazing. All the girls, I'm just obsessed with them. They're amazing. They're really amazing.
I come to the center because they help me and grief counsel me. They give me the tools that I need to get through the grieving process and help me to understand where I am in my grieving process. And I can come in on my bad days and cry and let my emotions out, and you know, just really just let it all out. And they're there for me to uplift me and cry with me when I need to be cried with. And also, not only are they there through the bad times, but also there in the good times to support me in my accomplishments and celebrate with me. I want to be a pediatric nurse, mainly because my son, he had a lot of different issues, including he had heart issues, and he also had cancer. And so, you know, I know what that journey is like, and I know, you know, what parents go through and what the kids go through, and I just feel like it's extremely important for them to have somebody to look to, and to, like, I just want to be one of the nurses that is able to say that, you know, I understand what you're going through, and be there for the families and the kids. Just want to help the kids.
My first pregnancy. When I first found out, I really wanted to make sure that I'm educated enough to make sure I'm doing the best for me and my baby, and I feel like this place was the best choice for that. When I first got here, it really felt like home. At a friend's house. Some questions that I have, I don't really want to bother my doctor with, but still, I want the questions to be answered, and I feel like this is a very good place to do that because they really care and listen and ready to help anytime. Probably the best experience here was my first sonogram, which was done in 9 weeks, and this was the most joyful moment in my life so far because at 9 weeks the baby was so small, but then I saw a little head and the heart beating, and legs and arms moving around and being so playful. That was just so touching, and I just realized how much responsibility I have for the baby.
I was nervous and scared. You guys were really nice to me. I thought that was really cool that I could call them anytime, like if I had a concern or if they were sick and I didn't know what to do. A lot of times doctors, they'll tell you, but you're not close with a doctor. You can only be so close with a doctor unless you know them personally. And everything that I've been taught here, I think that if I didn't take those classes, I'd probably go crazy and be like, I don't know what to do. And my mom knows what to do, but she had me so long ago. Some things have changed. It's kind of different now. I don't think I would have been as prepared at all.
My experience here at Shirley Grace was really wonderful. My thing to any ladies who feel as though they don't have anybody there for them or no friend or family, just know that there are a group of people who will help you, reach out to you if you need it. I feel as though a baby is never a disappointment, a letdown, a regret, or anything like that. You know, me being 19, I did feel as though I was about to lose my life. I wanted to go to school. It would be better. And I thought a child was going to stop that. And this baby has meant so much more to me than anything in the world. And I say coming here really showed me that. Also with the support of my mother. So if God ever did bless you with the chance to be a mother or a father, I say go along with the idea and just love it.
We found out we were home, and me and her talked, and we said that we're gonna do this together. Me and her, we're gonna do this together. I didn't have my mother, so I told my daughter, "You got me. You're gonna finish school. You're gonna have this baby. You're gonna be a wonderful mother." Came here, and these people, they opened up to us. They let us in. They allowed us to do this project, this baby together. And we don't have family down here. So for them to open up to us and be a part of our life, which we don't have too many people that we can run to and share this joy and blessing with, it's been wonderful. It's been great. It's like words can't even really express the experience that we had with these wonderful ladies, uplifting and letting us know that we're gonna somehow, some way through God, we are going to get through this.
This last year, a lot has changed for me. Honestly, it has. I gave birth to my youngest child, a healthy boy, 7 pounds. It was, beautiful. It was really beautiful. And during this year when I was pregnant, somebody killed the father of my child, my oldest child. So I dealt a lot with the grief of losing, my best friend, my soulmate, just somebody that I spent 8 years with. I spent 8 years of my life with this person, and, somebody's selflessness just, took his life from my child, took a future from my child, and I dealt a lot with that this year, and my immigration a lot, I was going to get deported back to my country, and now I'm working on my GD, and I have a job, and, earning my money, and I'm being able to pay my rent and buy food, and just flourish in the way that I couldn't last year. Before I came to the Shirley Grace, I was very angry at God. I in a sense, I really, really despised him for everything that he did to me. I felt like he was picking on me in a sense, you know, he picked on me a lot, and he made me suffer, you know. I was, you know, he let me, the way I thought about it was like he let somebody rape me, and, you know, he let somebody use me to violate my privacy, my body, you know. But coming here to the Shirley Grace and going to church with you, and, you know, coming to the Bible study with Miss Karen, I learned to forgive. I learned to forgive those that have done me so wrong. I learned to forgive those that have taken things from me that had no right to be taken. I learned that God doesn't want to see us ruin our life. He wants us to have hope in our future. He wants us to flourish. He wants us to love one another, to have peace, to say, you're my sister, you're my brother. We should treat each other with equality. And that's the best thing that I could have learned here, was loving myself, forgiving those that have done me wrong, and treating one another with respect and love and loyalty that we all deserve.